morning, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from MasonWorks Marketing here on Conscious Business Zone with my friend Fabio Dal Boni. Hi, Fabio. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes.
So, Fabio, I'm so excited to have everyone meet you today and hear about your journey, because you really have a fascinating life story, just alone without even the experience with your NDE. But you've been a journalist, a writer, and an artist, and you're a world famous artist, which you can see the art, some of the art, and we'll get to look at some of that as well. And but you were born in Italy, and then you were raised in Latin America.
Yes.
And you've traveled everywhere. So I want to hear. Let's start with all of that. Like, how did you end up coming to the U.S. after having all of this amazing international life?
Yeah, because that was for the previous year of my life, my 17 years before, my first 17 years. I was traveling with the family. My father was moving himself and the family all around the United States, South America. And he was a journalist too, a diplomat, entrepreneur. He was a lot of action to do in this continent, but from the north to the south. And at a certain point, instead, I decided to go to Italy to study engineering. And I was there alone. And I started my own journey going around the world like that, because also I was contracted after the college by companies. I went in many places, Europe, Asia, and I have in mind the Spanish words and the Spanish language, because I growing up in different schools there, but I can speak Spanish. And after that, I established myself in Milan the last 20 years, more or less, like a base, like a headquarters to move myself like a journalist and something. Then I met my wife there in Milan. My lovely wife. She's also a traveler, and then we find ourselves in the middle of journeys, and that was good. And at a certain point with the kids, we decided to give them more chance, and then instead of having the Italian school in Italy, they went to American school to start with the English language and to have more. And at a certain point, we said, why we are here in Italy if they speak already English also, they dream in English. Let's move. And then we decided to move ourselves to the United States. That is to simplify all the stuff. But of course, there is really some nice and hard steps to do it before.
Yes. Wow. So you really have had an incredible international experience where you've really seen humanity and the beauty of the world in all different ways, and through others' eyes, right?
Yes, and you can start learning that the difference and the diversity is a big asset for people, and then you have to understand how they live, how they think, and then how they treat you, and then how they how they work with you on having friends in different language, different countries. And you started to have a really open mind about others. And I think that is a key important for my life, to be, I received from my parents that, and to be really open to others.
That's amazing. Well, and it's the best way to learn too, because you don't, when you see that everyone loves their children and everyone loves has their way to love life, it's a different experience than us versus them. You really get to a more common denominator on live your life, right?
Yeah, and the common denominator is love, always love. For
Yes.
someone, for something, love. And then if you understand that with the other, when you meet someone, is the love and the generosity, integrity, all of this. But first is love for each other. No?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned. I got to go to school in Italy from 10th grade, which I was 14. I went for 5 summers in a row, and then I went to school for a full year and lived in Florence. So I would go for 2 months or 3 months at a time, and then I got to go for a whole 12 months. And so when you have that different perspective of how people appreciate and honor life and the celebration of life,
Yeah.
versus the problems. I mean, a lot of people focus only on the material and the problem. They're looking to solve problems rather than looking to enjoy, right?
Yeah. It's exactly that. Yes.
Yes.
And the only and another thing that I wanted to add to you is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary stuff or things or thought or the ordinary. You can say, "Oh, this is ordinary." No, if you look well, that ordinary, you can have it in front of you. Maybe I don't know, something that maybe is no value. You think that is no value. But if you look inside with different eyes, different perspective, you can see that in that ordinary stuff, there is something extraordinary. Who created that?
Right.
Who is the genius? Who is the, I don't know, something like that.
Yes. Well, I love that. I love the idea that we're looking deeper at what is rather than taking everything for granted, because there's a lot of gratitude and a lot of connection when you take the time to be present in that moment, to experience, like the picture, the gondolas behind you, to really experience that and what that feels like. To me, since I've been to Venice, to me that has a sense of the exotic, and the food comes in, the art comes in, the Persian aspect comes in, because the Venice is so different than all of Italy. It's really different because it was a port in around 1000. So that's where the Silk Road came, and also spices and everything. It's a very different feel than the rest of Italy. That it still feels like you're going back in time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. But also Venice, but every single place, every single small town is great.
Yes.
But also here in the United States, I love traveling here. Really, I really enjoy so much. There is something incredible. And where I live right now in Sarasota, in Florida, there is such a beautiful sky with the lights inside. It's amazing. It's something. Yeah, you say I am blessed.
Yeah, you are blessed anyway. But okay, so I want to tell everyone. So Fabio and I met at the IANDS Conference because I was in charge of the exhibitors, and Fabio had just published his book called An Extra Life, 8 Minutes in Heaven with My Father. And so we are going to hopefully talk about this a little bit and get a feeling for this experience, because Fabio has a way to explain his experience that's quite enriching for our lives. As we were talking about the idea that we want to be present in each moment and savor everything. Fabio wasn't part of IANDS when he started to write this book. He just decided it was time to process the experience, right?
6 years to talk to somebody.
Wow.
No, it took me a long, because what's happening in 2015 when I died for a heart attack, the widowmaker.
Okay. So I'm going to put you full screen, and then I want you to start from that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It was in 2015, and I was really in good fit, very good shape. And suddenly, out of the blue, I was playing tennis actually with my wife. She will always beat me, but so hard. But no, okay. But the doctor, after all, they said that no, your shape, your good body saved your life because you were able to resist that kind of shock. But okay, I died immediately, more or less, in going to the hospital in Tampa, Florida, with the ambulance. When I arrived there, I was practically gone. And in that 8 minutes of the period of the time, medical time, I was gone, and the staff said, "Doctor, we have the time of death," and said, and out of the blue, this guy, 35 years old, an angel really, he said, or moved by an angel, I don't know, he said, "I wanted to try again." Why? He's gone. He said, "No, I wanted to try." And then he tried again with another defibrillation. And I came back. That is from here, from this size. Mm-hmm. And I came back, and then I was so happy to be there again, no? Because I was completely out. But in my 8 minutes there was no minutes, was an eternity, was infinity, was only energy. And I was there. And the thing I met my father, and with my father was spirit, like an angel. I was an angel there, energy, pure energy. You can say he was dressed in white, but he was not naked, he not dressed. We were talking, but no movement of the lips, all communication spiritual. But he brought me around his life, his parent life, and my life, maybe to understand who I am, who I was, and where I have to go to stay there. And that's the story, really summarizing that I lived there. But I saw in all of these 8 minutes that for me, they were immense. I saw many situations, dangerous, all my life, that I have in my subconscious. But I relive with my father in the details to understand the generosity, the integrity, the positive thinking about your life and the value of time, the life. In that moment, I understood a lot of things in that. I was skeptical when I was in life before with my father. I have to say that my father was a Reiki master. The Reiki is a way that people has ability to heal somebody else with energy or thinking. And my father was the high level, was master. And he every time was talking to me about this experience and talking about the energy that I have. And I don't want to say that I was laughing at him, but I was skeptical because I thought, it's something that, why you say? But he showed me people. And my father was, for example, with a celebrity. I cannot say his name, but he's still alive. He's a celebrity. And then he saved him. That is not my father that said that. It's the celebrity said, "You saved me. You saved my life with your energy," and something like that. And in that moment, when I met my father, I understood very well what he was telling me all the time. And that is a part of the journey that I have in the heaven. And it's completely light, immense, like it's so beautiful, so peaceful. And then to start with your answer, yes, got me 6 years to digest all the situation because it's still really emotional for me. If I read my book, I read my book, I cry. I still cry. It's an happy ending story because I am here, but there is some part where it's too emotional for me. And the other thing is that I didn't want to talk to embarrass someone else to talk about angels or what I have seen there, to don't become like, this guy is crazy, or this one is they are laughing at me, or maybe I embarrass someone because it's a shocking story. Wow. And then I didn't want it. But my wife and the doctor, they said, Fabio, you have a gift. Why you don't use this gift to talk to somebody, to share your gift? Because what you have seen there and your ideas and your words, really, they can help others. And I started to think on that and to believe on that. And to be short, sorry, if I allow you interrupt me, please. I don't want it to take so long, but okay, I started telling the story to a friend of mine, the first one. And after like 6 weeks, he said, Fabio, you know that you already saved 4 lives?
Oh.
You said 4 lives, I say? Why? What do you think? Because I told the story to 4 of my friends, and they ran to the doctor to have a checkup.
Oh.
And the doctor said, if you are not here, I don't know what happened with you. And they all have stent like you now. And they are saved. I said, oh, okay, that is something. And then I started to do, because when you start talking about death and experience like that, I also was like that. You don't want to hear something, not so much, more or less. You wanted to hear something positive, not about death.
Right.
But that part of my experience, I think that helped a lot. And thank you, Kathy, because you invite me to the IANDS Conference there. And I am so grateful because I have, for the first time, the opportunity to talk with, I would like to say, hundreds, dozens people, but hundreds. They came to me, and not only to hear my story, but to tell their story.
That's right.
And to have answers for me. And I said, okay, I can answer on my experience. And I saw them, after all, being so relieved and like peaceful. And they, all of them, they said, thank you, Fabio. And your words, they did very, very profound something for me. They mean things. That was really touchful. And then I said, oh. And then I understood that. And then I am not more, let's say, concerned or something. No, I am talking my story right now. And I believe that sharing the story is a good point. Is something to give up, to give back the gift that I had.
Well, you in your book you talk about it being a rebirth.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because that's what the reason I love IANDS so much is everyone that's had a glimpse, whether it's through a spiritually transformative experience or through a near-death experience, they've had a glimpse of all that is, this whole energy that we're in that is pure love. And they come back with that remembrance. Every morning I wake up and remember my experience 20 years ago and try to see how I can hold more light and be more love. And that's what you were with, 500 people that all wake up every morning and want to be that. And that's a very powerful healing opportunity, but it's a rebirth on so many levels because you kind of see this life as an opportunity, a different kind of opportunity, don't you think?
Totally. Yes, it's another kind of experience and another kind of opportunity to live the life. I am talking about, for example, rebirths, because coincidentally, but if you don't believe in the coincidence, my father, and he showed me that, and he showed me on purpose that he was in a submarine at 16 years old. He was in the war, Second World War, and he was from the Italian Navy, and the submarine was beaten by an airplane from the British Air Force, and the submarine was going on the depth of the. They were dying, everybody in the submarine, and my father was so skinny, was was the younger one, and then one of the crew decided to say, okay, we are dying, all of us, and you have a chance. And he put him in the chamber of the torpedo launch, and he launched my father out in the dark blue of the water that was already 100 meters down the submarine.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he died in that moment. But fortunately, the freezing, the so-called water put him in in a coma, and he died, but he was not, and he was saved after months of staying in the water, months, not weeks, not days. And he was discovered by a young lady or the gypsy family in the coast of the Albany in the Adriatic Sea, really far away from the submarine point. And after months, the family was going like the traditional way to move themselves, going around. This is what the gypsy do, and is a nomad continuation. And they brought my father with them, and my father, after months, he recovered himself suddenly like that, and he rebirthed. He was born again. And that moment, my father wanted to share to me and to understand where I have to stay, not there. And I came back also with that. And the opportunity to see a new kind of life. Maybe I can give you this idea about the time. That is the really most important variable that we have in the life. The time.
Right.
But the time, you don't have to think about time like, okay, what is 1 minute? 1 minute is 60 seconds. Okay? You can measure. But in that minute, you can do something, and I can do something different. Mm-hmm. The value of that minute for me is completely different than the value of your minutes. And how can I apply the best value for that minute to live my life? And that is really a rebirth, because you start to think differently your life, different approach with others if you don't have, but if you have, you can expand yourself in that way, in a positive way, energetic way, generosity, love, hope, and understanding, Of course, we live as a human body, and I came back with my routines. Maybe I put my legs, my hair in this way. I repeat that kind of routine, but it's not what I am saying. The routine is okay, but the perception of the life, the value of the time, is completely different.
That's the truth. That's what I see, and what I value so much is people attempting to live life from that perspective. That's what will save humanity in the long run, is us all knowing that in the big picture, that it's all love, and that we're judging ourselves and keeping ourselves distant from others, even though there is no separation.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Yes. And what I have seen there and that I can share is the energy. let's say, when I was in that bed of the hospital, gone, there was my body there, like a machine that is already arrived at the end, done. And the energy that you can call soul, my energy was expanding, was going in another dimension. And that energy that we have also here, that energy, but it's like compressed, because maybe we have stress, we have something, we have problems, concerns, routines, but we have the energy. And to understand the power of that energy to others, think a smile. When you met someone is coming, you don't know him. He's coming toward you, somebody, not smiling, maybe stressful, depressed. But if you smile him, for no reason, you in that moment, you are giving him so much energy that can change everything for him. Because it's energy that you can share with others. And you have. And that's because I said, we are angels, also here. Not only when we are in the afterlife. We are here angels. We can do it. We can act like angels. We can protect. We can share good, positive things. Love, 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 love. That's in any of the forms and ways, love. No.
So did this experience change your relationship with religion? Because you grew up in Italy and then South America, so I don't know if you're Christian or Catholic or what, but
yeah, I can tell you in the book and in myself, I am not talking about religion.
Right, it's spiritual.
That I don't want to talk about that because I don't have the authority to talk about that, and I don't think that I wanted to do that people follow me in some ideas because I am close and open mind to, or not open mind about some religion or others. To answer your question, my father was Catholic. I am Catholic. I received all the step of the Catholics, the ceremonies, and my mother was Jewish, but she converted in Catholic, even if it's not possible. When she married my father and my mother, they were married by a pope in the Vatican, and then it's by a pope, not like
a priest. That's a pope.
The big one, okay, in the Vatican. Okay, and it's something that. But as I growing up, I was thinking about religion, and but you cannot call me like one that is going all the Sundays to the mass and then doing practical things to do it. I believe. And I wanted to say, I believe inside. I don't want to offend nobody in this because the religion is so important to have.
Right.
In any religion, there is the common thing that is the faith and the hope and the love. To think that is something above us.
Right.
Something that is protecting us, is loving us, and that is the idea. And that my book, I wanted to talk to you this. One lady came to me when I was there in Washington, D.C. with you, and she said, Fabio, but you met your father or God? And they said, I met my father. And they said, yes, but you write my father with the F like that. It seems
capital. Yeah.
I said, maybe it's subconscious. Okay. I said, I was in the reign of the immense, of God. I am a son of God. And then I am there with him. If you are asking me if God took the semblance of my father, because he perfectly knows who is my father, the color of eyes, And who I am, I don't know. But I cannot say I met God or Jesus. But I was there. In their, let's say, in the immense place where you can find God or Jesus with yourself. That's, but you know what I said, because that was interesting, the question of the ladies. My father with the F capital. So then
Yeah. Yes, that makes a lot of sense too. I wondered when I first saw it too. Well, so you have this experience and then you come back. How did you integrate that knowledge? Were you already doing art before?
actually has an hobby, but not like that.
Oh, okay.
There,
So,
the art is a consequence about.
oh, good. Okay.
I would
So,
like to say that because that was first a part of changing my life. I was a journalist. I am still a journalist. I was a writer, but I also became after, in before that experience, a strategic consultant for crisis communication, working with big companies to have to solve problems and litigation that they have with the government in South America or in Europe.
wow.
Really important stuff. And I decided to see maybe it's time that I can do something, not retirement. I can do something different, starting. It's a rebirth, to do something that I really love to do. But I love to do the work that I did before. But I said I wanted to find the light. I wanted to replicate. I want in some way try to share the light that I lived there. That kind of vibrancy, powerful life, no? And I started to find many solutions like painting, but was not so lightful. And I said, okay, I started to do maybe canvas, marble, bronze, iron, many other stuff. And then I found the aluminum. The aluminum here. This is a piece of aluminum.
It's beautiful.
Painted. And I don't know if the monitor gives justice, but the light of this is something that take me at the heart and said, oh, I am doing what I wanted to do. It's a really, really powerful delight that I have in my paintings. I don't know if you have seen others, but they are always like that. I try to replicate that light. And I wanted to say, I am doing a good job.
Yes.
Not a perfect job, because that light is not possible having here. But I am trying to do my best.
So let's show your website so people can see your art a little bit. Do you want to do that now? And
yes, if you want. Thank you.
And tell me where to go.
Yeah.
So I do a good job for you. Okay, nope, I've got it open at the wrong place. Let's get you home first. Okay, so now here we go. Okay, so here's the home page.
Yes, you see also in the home page, all the paintings that are showing on display, they are trying to replicate some powerful energy, but at the same time, peaceful energy where you can travel inside and find yourself with the positive way. And that is the idea. Walking. This is called keep going. That means keep going. You will find yourself there. No?
So are these photographs and are these photographs?
They are paintings on aluminum. I start with some of them are completed a drawing pieces, but this is nice because this is a sleeping angel. That is for me. So you see the light. And I start sometimes, most of the time, with a photo because I cannot paint a piece of aluminum in front of a scene because I have to paint horizontally because the color that I use is inks is going down and I have to paint horizontally. And then to help myself with the proportion and or something, I used to take photos And watching the photos, I use the sketch. I don't use, for example, this is not all blue on the reality because the water is a little bit brown, the pier is brown, but I saw the light on there in blue, and then I painted blue. And
so I'm going to go to this page so that people can get a feel for the work. Can you see that okay?
Perfect. This one is, for example, the first one that close to you is on that one like angel, because that was something that I started to do. Okay, I wanted to do some nice piece of art, and I wanted to paint something, but for sure I wanted to do something related with my experience at the first time, without embarrassing nobody. I do a painting. Maybe you don't know what is, but for me this is an angel, and I was trying to find a place, and I found that place on Googling in Arizona. It's called Antelope Canyon.
Yes.
And that canyon is so mystic. And the Navajos, the tribe there, they use their inside to pray. And there are shapes made by the rocks and the wind and the water that are amazing shapes. You know, when you look at the clouds and you imagine a face or a dog or something looking at the shape of the clouds, and they last only some minutes, and then the wind move them. That is the same place. And then I fixed it in my mind, something like this. That was where it's blue was the light, and when it's white, it was the rock, brown rock. But for me, the light shaped an angel dancing, and then I was trying to replicate that. And that is. And then if you go to the interior there on top, you can see how nice it's at home. Oh, you have, yes, the first one.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah, and it's something that you can see. You never go tired about that, because the light inside is really something.
Well, these are all amazing, amazing.
Yeah. So many of the realization that I did, and not all of them, but many of them, I like to share. It's something. Why is this pier so long? This painting is called "Call Me a Dreamer." Because you can dream and go and there and walking. Maybe you can open that white door and going where I was. No?
Beautiful. They're beautiful. And look at this. To have it in with that view. Wow. 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 Wow.
I consider myself really the luckiest, and I'm so happy to hear and to have. This is a bridge we have in Sarasota, but you see, always I try to find the lights behind the things above. But then also this one, also with the different colors, they have the light that I was looking for.
Yes. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. This is amazing, this one.
Oh,
different colors.
Yes, that is called unlimited love. And you can lose yourself inside and thinking about all your nice experience. And that is a photo, it's a picture taken on my feet in the water above a rock in the Caribbean Sea. And the color on nature is what I am talking about before, about the ordinary and the extraordinary. If you stay there you go with your feet in the water on the beach, seems normal, no? But look at the movement of the water. Look at the reflection of the lights and the colors. Are not they extraordinary?
They are. This is extraordinary. And the colors, the way the play of the colors is quite remarkable. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
That is nature. It's something that make me smile, because I am really happy to live my life, and thinking that I am so fortunate to live this life, and having all the love and the chance, the opportunity to share what I wanted to share in a good way. No?
Yes, yes. Is this Audrey Hepburn?
She is, yes. She is. That was an experimenter, because having nice, and a client of mine asked me to have, I love Audrey Hepburn. I said, oh, who doesn't love her? But okay. But I, for sure, I don't have photo of her. But I got on the website, and I found some nice photo of her, and I read that if I change 30% of the original photo, I am not having problem with the copyright.
Oh, I see.
Okay, but I said, okay, let's see only the smile or the energy on his face, no?
Right.
Let's traduce this, convert this energy in some diamonds or sapphires, and I was like painting that, all the geometric color, like crystals all around.
Right.
And it's nice.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Well, I'm going to go back to the art, because like, look at this. This is like, wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So what you've taken, I'm going to go back to the art page, because they're this way people can go to your website, Fabio Dal Boni,
Yeah.
and I've been putting it in the information. Oh, this seduction. Ooh, so many beautiful water pictures and twice the smiles. And then Venezia upside down.
Yeah.
Oh, this one, you had this one with you.
This is the first one. This is the first one, is the heart. This is my heart, but it's also the play. This is a common view of the inside of this Antelope Canyon. You can find this shape around Google hundreds of times. This is my interpretation of that, because it's a little bit less than the heart, but for them is something really nice. They told me that instead of having this is the Virgin for them, like you see, like that. And yes, they are praying. This is something so important for the fertility. And
well, what happens with your art is you go into it, and then there's no words. That's what it's a connection with your heart that is quite profound. Okay, let's go to Venice real quick.
Yeah,
Venezia.
Venezia. You see also in the.
Sorry.
You can have this view when you go to Venezia if you have the chance. And I know many Americans are going to Venezia because they love Venezia. And you walk through the bridge and take a second for yourself, the value of time, to look at the water that is shaping. Is amazing how the nature, and if you wanted to see God,
yes,
draw or take I don't know. This is ordinary, no?
Right.
Extraordinary.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not talking about my art. I'm talking about what you can find in front of you take a walk, no? But you don't take care about what you see during the walk. Please take care, and then you will see incredible stuff. That was so funny with the two cherries there, because I was in a desert here in the United States, in the white desert in New Mexico. is not sand, it's a desert of white, it's all black. It's white, so white. That was really something. But I brought with me in my backpack with the camera also two cherries, because I said I wanted to see how they look like that.
A different still life. Usually it's on a table. That's so cool. And see what it looks like in your living room or in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Profound. It really is. I mean, there's so much beauty and design to it. That's what the light. Well, so much of what I'm seeing in your work, Fabio, is the light, and that is the experience that anyone who's had a near-death experience or a spiritually transformative experience has had an opportunity to really see a different reality and access a light, which is love or light or purity. It's almost getting out of your own mind into into your heart, which is what you can really feel when I look at all this stuff. I just go, wow! It's like exploding. That light is unusual, and throughout art. I studied art in Italy. That's why I was there. The light source was always like, wow! Look at the light source in that and that and that was how you could tell the temperament almost of the artist.
Yes.
Because there was like the chiaroscuro, which is all shadowy and it has depth of field, but chiaroscuro, I don't know if you remember that term.
Yeah, chiaroscuro.
Yeah. But yeah. But all I'm saying is that the light that is seen, if you look at almost all the religious art, and it doesn't matter what country you're in, but it's always bringing in divine knowledge or higher learning or the love of life in light. And that's what you're capturing in this water. And we're mostly water. So I look at this and I start my cells are waking up. Yep.
You are completely, I agree completely. And you see, maybe artists, they are looking for that light in every moment, because it's so important, that light. And this is a common way for what we can have there when we are with someone who loves us in the afterlife. Is the light that is not a blinding light. You are not absorbed. You are embraced. You love that light, and that light has the incredible is that the light of that is all full of color, amazing red, incredible green, a mix of the prisma that you never can see here. And the only thing that I have not seen is the black, that maybe represents something that is not positive. But the light is all composed by incredible colors. Incredible.
Yes.
And it's for that, every icon or every, they have lights on above, or behind, in front. That's the light that moves.
Right. So a lot of the religious paintings, at least certainly in the Renaissance, all had the holy people all had a aura around them. They had lights, or they had a crown of light.
Yes.
And do you see that now? I mean, with your own eyes, do you see a different way of looking? Almost like there's more light than there was before. Do you notice that?
Yes. I am so embarrassed to tell this, because I am still thinking that if I tell this, someone said, okay, it's okay. This guy is crazy. But for sure, and that what is energy. That is the energy. The energy that you become able, and I am, to see more than before, the energy in every moment in others, on yourself too. The energy you can define is energy. Is that aura is energy, and you have. It's inside, but it's all around. And you see, Because this is something that can happen to everybody. When we call maybe vibe, or we call something, when you find someone that is not a good energy for you, or you feel not good, maybe you wanted to help him, or it's not possible to help him to have different energy, but because he's in a bad mood, that is something that you feel. If this is something that you really feel, and you can almost touch. And this is energy. After my experience, I have more ability to see that.
Yes, yes. And more ability to share it. That's what I think I've noticed with people that have had these experiences, they're more courageous. They act on their inspiration instead of just, oh yes, someday I'll do this, or someday I'll write a book, or someday I'll make beautiful art. There's something about after having an experience that is paranormal or supernatural or out of the normal anyway, that there's something about that makes you go do things, not be afraid. Like you said a couple of times, I don't know if I'm crazy. I gave up even caring if I'm crazy, because this happened 20 years ago and I didn't have the words or the reference point. I had to just come back and try to integrate it. I didn't have all these near-death experiencers talking about their mystical experiences. I had to read books and try to find out, like, yeah, that's a good way to explain that. And in my experience, it was very dark. It was there was a background of nothingness and then light.
Yeah.
And the light did have all these colors, but it was originally there was the void of nothing, and I wasn't frightened at all. In fact, I was curious maybe, but I wasn't. There wasn't what you would have thought there would have been: anxiousness or fearfulness or anxiety of some sort. I wasn't at all. It was so peaceful and almost enveloped, nurturing. Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
And I didn't have the words for that. I just had the experience, and I kept trying to process it. And I took a lot of healing classes to try to figure out how to get back to that energy. Did you too?
I didn't have that sessions, but it took me for myself and my wife together to try to understand and to share this emotion, but was for me really impossible at that time. I was no, I don't want to tell nobody this. And then,
right.
But after all, when I started writing, was like because I am a journalist, I know how, but I was not stop. I was writing there all the words that I had in mind. They were in the book immediately, and then after that there is a big process to publish a book.
Yeah.
Not easy, but when I finished, I was so happy and so relieved. I said, yeah, why I wait 6 years for this?
Right.
But I understood that I need it. And then in this time, and also when I went to the IANDS Conference, I understood that maybe I can help more in a more way. But I don't want it to, let's say, no commercialize this. I don't want it to say, oh, come to me, we can. No, it has to be spontaneous. In this moment, I don't want it to have. I share my story. I'm so happy about my book, and I'm so open to talk about experience that for me is a different situation before that I was not able to talk or skeptical or something. Well, now I'm really open about that.
Well, as a journalist, you have to be a researcher, and it's all up here. And
Yeah.
what your experience was all here.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to connect the two, which is what everyone's doing right now in this whole world. All of us are seeing the truth of reality and not necessarily wanting to create that truth. We have to create from here now, right?
Yep, exactly that. Yes. And then I invite everybody who has this experience to share the experience, because it's a really, really good way to live our life for ourselves and for the others. Everybody need to understand these stories. And I think that is really, really something that,
Well,
I did a lot of research, of course, because what I have seen in these 8 minutes that were eternity, I was trying to understand. Okay, my father was in the submarine. Let's see. I searched the submarine. I searched everything to say I am touching the truth. Yes, and then I was doing that. And
yes. Well, that's what's so wonderful about that. I do recommend everybody get this book. And also check out Fabio's website, because what you're going to see is that the common denominator that all of us have is that we all want to remember who we really are as a soul. And the more that you read these kind of stories where you get to the real truth of the beauty of this and the gift of this and the possibility to be whatever you want to be, you're not a victim. That's the storyline that we have to work and we have to do this and we have to do that. Why not change that and make a rebirth of that and choose the delight? Because you can see the light in what Fabio's done. Look at behind him, that the light off that water is just remarkable. And the light off of this book cover, it's remarkable. So is that what you would want people to know, is to go for it?
yes, of course. Thank you, really. I really appreciate this.
Oh, me too. Me too. I loved meeting you. I loved talking to your wife. She's a real go-getter. and you're so lucky, because that way you can connect to people on a different level, because when you look into your eyes, you see your heart. You
Yes.
really do. And I don't know, as a journalist, as an investigator, as a researcher, if you allowed yourself to let anyone see you that deeply before, but you do now.
Yes, and you said something really important: the eyes. You, through the eyes, you go inside the others, and then through the eyes, I was able to recognize my father. That was the power of that.
Isn't that amazing? But now you recognize everyone else too.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is it opened up a door of possibility so that you can recognize and connect to people at a soul level anytime you want. And they know it, because you're totally present. There's nothing hiding. There's no need to hide. There's no one to impress. Isn't that something?
Yes.
So cool. It's so cool. So Fabio, let's make sure that everyone knows. I have been putting your website in, but I want to make sure everyone can connect with you.
Thank
And
you.
certainly you can see Fabio is a wonderful interviewee. So those of you that have your own shows, please consider having him on your show, so that this message can get out. Seriously, that rebirth is what we're all going through right now, right?
Yes. Thank you. Thank
Sure.
you. Thank you.
So what is the best way for everyone to find you?
through my website, for example. In my website, there is my phone number, my email. I answer everybody if they want to have there, and I will be there. I will be there for everybody.
Oh, wonderful.
It's easy because it's all my name together, fabiodalboni.com.
Wonderful.
You can find my contact there. There is all.
And thank you all. Please share this. If you've enjoyed this, please share this with others, because this story is extraordinary, and it'll take you to a new understanding of your life and how to really experience your life to the fullest, and to maybe love yourself a little more and not be so hard on yourself. Because it's really you judging you, not God. And we didn't know that. We didn't know that till now. So anyway, well, ciao, thank you so much. I loved being with you again. Ciao. Ciao. Thank you, everybody. Thank